Close your eyes for a second. Just close them. Imagine you're sitting across from Elon Musk, not watching him on YouTube, not reading about him in an article, across from him. The room smells like polished wood and quiet ambition. His eyes are on you, not his phone, not his notes. You. And you feel it, don't you? That warmth creeping up the back of your neck. Your heartbeat doing something it shouldn't. Your palms slightly wet. You've been waiting for this moment. You've prepared for this moment. Sleepless nights, highlighters, notebooks, flashcards, 3 years of a degree sitting like a trophy in your chest, maybe 5 years, maybe a whole decade of hard work compressed into this one single room. And then he leans forward, slightly. He asks you one question. One simple question. And the words, they don't come. They're there. You can almost feel them, like trying to grab smoke with your fingers. You know the answer. You know it. But your mouth becomes a locked door. Your tongue feels like a stranger in your own mouth. And the silence? Oh, that silence. It stretches. 1 second. 2 seconds. 5. And in those 5 seconds, every sleepless night, every degree, every highlighted textbook turns to dust. Just dust. And the worst part? It's not because you're not smart. It's not because you didn't try hard enough. It's not even because your English is bad. It's because of something much deeper than that. Something no one ever told you in school. Something your teachers never warned you about. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So stay with me, because by the end of this, you're going to feel something shift inside you. Not just in your head, in your chest. Let me ask you something honest. When you learned English, what did they tell you to do? Memorize grammar rules, memorize tenses, learn these 50 words a day, repeat this sentence structure until it sticks. Sound familiar? Of course it does, because that's what most of us were taught. And here's the brutal truth they never told you. That approach, it works for exams. It doesn't work for life. There's a massive, massive difference between memorizing English and living it. And I want you to feel that difference, not just understand it intellectually. Feel it. Think about the last time you scrolled through your phone at night, just lying in bed, tired, half asleep. You're not thinking about how to scroll. You're not reminding yourself, okay, put thumb here, apply slight pressure, move upward. You just scroll. Your thumb moves before your brain even decides. That's what internalized skill feels like. Now think about the first time you used a new app. You're looking for the button, reading the interface, thinking about every move. It's slow. It's uncomfortable. It takes effort. That's what rote English feels like in a real conversation. You memorized the app's manual, but you never actually used the app enough times to stop thinking about it. And here's where most people make the same mistake. They hold up their degree like a certificate of fluency. They say, I studied English for 10 years. And they truly believe that those 10 years of study equal 10 years of confidence. But a degree, I love you, I really do, but I have to say this clearly. A degree is a piece of paper. A beautiful, hard-earned, important piece of paper, but still paper. The moment you walk into that room, the real world doesn't care about the paper. It cares about you. It wants to know, can you think in this language? Can you feel in this language? Can you be human in this language? And that requires something different. It requires what I call the leader's mindset. And I'm going to break it down for you right now in 5 ways that are going to feel less like a lesson and more like someone handing you a mirror. The first thing I want you to think about is a bicycle. Do you remember learning to ride one? Really sit with that memory for a second. Maybe you were 7. Maybe you were 12. Maybe, if you're honest, you were way older than that and you're not going to tell anyone. That's fine. We don't judge here. Now, before someone put you on that bicycle, did you read a book about balance? Did you study the physics of 2 wheels and angular momentum and the center of gravity? No. You got on and you fell. You got up and you fell again. And maybe you cried a little. Or maybe you pretended you weren't crying because someone was watching. Either way, you got scars on your knees. Small ones, maybe. Or big, ugly ones that took weeks to heal. But here's the thing about those scars. Those scars are not signs of failure. Those scars are the proof that you tried. They are the physical record of every moment you chose to get back up. And eventually, one afternoon, something clicked. Not in your brain, in your body. And you were riding. And you weren't thinking about balance. Balance was just happening because you had earned it through the falling. Now, you know what Elon Musk has said about failure. He doesn't just tolerate it, he expects it. He built rockets that exploded publicly, on camera, in front of the entire world. And he came back the next day and built another one. When he looks at you in that interview room, he is not looking for perfection. He is looking for scars. He wants to see someone who got on the bicycle, someone who fell, someone who got back up with dirt on their knees and said, "One more time." That is what he's searching for, not someone who read every book about bicycles and never once touched one. So stop being ashamed of your stumbles in English. Your stumbles are your resume. Now, let me paint you a picture. You just bought a brand new pair of shoes. Gorgeous, sharp, the kind that make you stand up straighter just by putting them on. But it's the first day, and they're tight, just a little, not painful enough to take off, but enough that you know they're there. Every step, there's a small reminder. Shoes, right, shoes, right, shoes. Your attention keeps drifting down to your feet, even when you're in an important meeting, even when someone is saying something you need to hear. Part of your brain is always occupied by the shoes. Now, think about your oldest pair of shoes, the ones you've had for maybe 3 years, the ones that are slightly embarrassing because you refuse to throw them away, the ones that have been with you on bad days and long days and ordinary days. When you put those on in the morning, do you think about them at all, even once? No, they're gone the moment they're on. They become part of you. You forget you're wearing shoes entirely. And that's the difference between rote English and internalized English. Rote English is the new shoes. Every sentence, there's a small pinch. Is this grammar correct? Did I use the right tense? Am I making sense? Why did they pause? Did I say something wrong? Your focus keeps drifting down, away from the conversation, away from the person in front of you, away from connection, and into the shoes. True communication is the old shoes, worn in, shaped to you, yours. You don't think about the words. You think about what you're saying. You're not managing the vehicle. You're enjoying the drive. And when you're truly present in a conversation, the other person feels it, especially someone like Musk, especially someone who has sat across from thousands of people and learned to feel within 30 seconds who is genuinely there and who is performing. Here's something I want you to try tonight. When your house goes dark, when you're walking to your kitchen at midnight for water or to use the bathroom, or just because sleep won't come, notice what you do. You don't reach for your phone flashlight. You don't stand at the doorway mapping out the room in your head. You just walk. Your hand finds the wall. Your feet know the step that creaks. You find the light switch, or the glass, or the door handle without your eyes, without your conscious mind. Because this is your home. This space is written into your body. The room doesn't challenge you. It receives you. Now imagine walking into a room you've never been in before, in the dark. Everything is a potential obstacle. You move slowly. You're tense. Your arms are slightly out, ready to catch yourself. You stub your toe. Of course you do, because this is not your space. For so many people, English is the second room, the unfamiliar dark. Every conversation is a room they've never been in before. Every question is a piece of furniture they might hit. And so they move slowly, tensely, arms slightly out, and people feel that tension. The goal, the real goal, is to make English your home, not a place you visit, a place you live. And living there means being messy in it, waking up in it, arguing in it, laughing in it, dreaming in it. Not just performing polished sentences in it during special occasions. The light switch only becomes automatic when you've reached for it 1,000 times, in the dark, sleepy, distracted, imperfect. Start living in English, not visiting it. Okay, halfway through, and I need you to still be with me. And I know you are, because this is starting to land, isn't it? Good. Let's go deeper. I want you to think about a stream, a beautiful moving stream in the middle of a forest, water flowing clean and constant. Now imagine there's a boulder in that stream, big, immovable. Does the stream stop? Does it look at the boulder and say, "I can't continue"? Does it panic? Does it freeze? No, it goes around, without drama, without announcement. It simply finds the way. Because water doesn't argue with reality. It accepts what is there and moves through it. That's what fluent communication looks like. Now think about a pond, still, quiet. If something blocks a pond, it just stays blocked. Water sits there. Maybe it becomes stagnant. Maybe it starts to smell, because stagnant things don't adapt. And there are so many people I've met. Maybe you've met them too. Maybe you are one of them right now, and that's completely okay, who have 4 or 5 English sentences memorized. 4 or 5. I am fine. Nice to meet you. I have 5 years of experience. Thank you for this opportunity. And as long as the conversation stays inside those 4 lines, they're great. They're confident. They seem fluent. But the moment the conversation moves to a 6th sentence, a question they didn't prepare for, an unexpected turn, the pond hits a boulder and stops. The stream never stops, not because it has more water, because it has more flexibility. Flexibility comes from exposure, from conversation, from hearing how real people speak and respond and surprise each other. It comes from talking to people, even badly, even embarrassingly, even with the wrong words that make you want to disappear into the floor. Every one of those embarrassing moments is the stream learning a new path around a boulder. And one day you'll hit that same boulder and you'll flow around it without even noticing, because your stream has been here before. It knows the way. And now the last analogy. And this one I want you to sit with. Think about wet clay. You've seen it in movies, maybe. The pottery wheel, hands on the clay, the gentle pressure, the coaxing, the listening. Yes, listening to the clay. Because a potter doesn't just force clay into shapes. They feel how it's moving. They sense where it wants to go. They adjust their hands accordingly. Too much pressure, and it collapses. Too little, and it just spins without form. The magic is in the dialogue between the hands and the clay, between intention and reality, between what you want to say and what the moment actually needs. Every conversation is wet clay. Every conversation is alive. It has its own temperature, its own rhythm, its own direction. And the people who are truly great communicators, not just in English, but in any language, they're not trying to force the conversation into a shape they rehearsed at home. They're feeling the clay. They're listening not just to the words being said, but to the space between the words, to the pause, to the slight change in expression, to the shift in energy when a topic lands differently than expected. They adjust, they respond, they create, in real time, together. This is art. Communication is not a transaction. It is not a vending machine where you insert the right coins and press the right button and get the right response. It is a creation, and you are an artist every time you open your mouth, every single time, even if it comes out imperfect, even if the clay collapses a little. The artist gets their hands dirty and tries again. Let's come back to that room, back to Musk. He's still looking at you, but I want you to see this moment differently now. He doesn't want your rehearsed answer. He doesn't want the sentence you practiced in the mirror 17 times last Tuesday. He wants you, the raw, real, unpolished you. He wants to see if you can think while someone is watching. He wants to see if you dissolve under pressure or if you find your footing. He wants to see if you've been in the dark room enough times that you can find the light switch even when you're nervous. He wants to know if your stream flows around boulders. He wants to see your scars. He wants to feel that your shoes are old. He wants your hands in the clay. Because here is what someone like Musk understands that most people around us don't. The words don't matter as much as the truth behind them. You can say the most grammatically perfect sentence in the world. You can have the most precise vocabulary. You can construct a response that a professor would mark full marks. And it can still land completely empty. Because the person across from you can feel when you're performing versus when you're present. We all can. Think about the last time someone apologized to you. Genuinely apologized, really sat there, looked at you, and said the words from somewhere real inside them. And now think about the last time someone apologized to you out of obligation. Same words, different feeling. You knew the difference instantly, not because of the vocabulary, because of the person behind the vocabulary. That's what Musk is looking for, not a performance, a person. So what do you actually do with all of this? What does this mean for tomorrow morning? It means this: stop preparing speeches. Start having conversations. With yourself in the mirror, yes, but not rehearsed lines. Ask yourself questions. Answer them. Go somewhere uncomfortable. Stumble. Find your way back. With strangers if you can. With people who push back. With people who ask you something you didn't prepare for. Seek out the boulders, because every boulder is a gift. Every uncomfortable silence is the clay teaching your hands something new. Every embarrassing moment is a scar being written into your knee, and those scars are what make you real, not just fluent. Real. Wake up tomorrow and think in English for 10 minutes before you pick up your phone. Not studying, not practicing grammar, just thinking. What do I feel right now? What does this morning smell like? What am I worried about? What am I looking forward to? In English, in the imperfect, beautiful, stumbling English that belongs to you. Because the goal was never to speak like a BBC presenter. The goal was to speak like yourself in English. Your humor, your warmth, your confusion, your passion, your scars, all of it translated, all of it real. And here is the last thing I want to leave inside you today. The thing that, if you forget anything else, I hope you carry this out the door. Words can be memorized. Anyone can memorize words. Parrots memorize words. Character cannot be memorized. Character is the thing that survived every fall off the bicycle. Character is the thing that lived in the dark room long enough to know every corner. Character is the old shoes, the flowing stream, the hands in the clay. Character is what walks into a room before your vocabulary has time to introduce itself. And the shift is this. Stop asking yourself, what should I say? Start asking yourself, who am I? Because when you know who you are, the words will come. Maybe not perfectly, maybe with a small stumble, maybe with a pause that lasts a second too long, but they will come, and they will be true. And truth in any language, in any room, in front of any person, truth lands. So the next time you find yourself across from someone important, whether it's Elon Musk or your biggest client or the person you're trying to impress most in this world, don't think about what to say. Feel who you are. The words will follow. They always do. When you stop managing them and start trusting them. That's the shift. That's the whole thing. That's everything.